So let's dive on in. There is new music, which is kind of nice. It's nice just having a bit of variety maybe as well. Alright, here we go. Map is looking a little kind of odd. There's not a lot of music going on right now, which is a little bit awkward, but it's okay. I'm kind of wondering what happened. I think if we load up a campaign, we can hear the older music that was in the game. No, wait, there it is. Never mind. It's here. It just took a while. Alright, let's actually have a good look at the map for now, since we're instead of just talking about random non-gameplay related changes. So, we've got a decent amount of iron, some amount of carbon. Jason Geos right here. Got to pay attention to that. Let's see. We could do some decent scientific work. It's not great, though. Kind of have to... Well, yeah, we could make scientific work-ish. There is also not a lot of silicon on this map. Something to pay real close attention to. It is really, really bad. Like, all the silicon, super bad. Let's go ahead and just take this spot. Should work out okay. Man, music's really quiet for me compared to a lot of other stuff. Let's go ahead and grab up that fair amount of aluminum that we're going to want. Go ahead and sell these other things. And then sit back and wait. We might try and grab these geos. We'll probably try and grab this aluminum at some point. Some of this water, you know, fairly obvious, simple stuff. Let's go ahead and sell out of that aluminum. We made a decent profit on that while we were waiting. Somebody else also trying to make money on aluminum. Still though, it worked out well for us, and now we're just waiting, being patient. So we've got an expansive colony down here. Got our scavenger up in this area. He's taking fairly standard tiles. Another scavenger over there. Everybody doing kind of reasonable things so far. I'm tempted to grab one of these just to have it. And then just grab like this water pump and just throw it on a water pump instead of a farm for right now. I think we can make this work alright. We won't actually grab the power yet, but I think having the tile isn't that bad. Let's take a look at Black Market. We haven't really done that yet, and it's kind of an important detail to look at. So I'm going to watch this water pump build while we do this because I can. We've got Cook the Books, Hologram, EMP Power Surge, Network Virus, Adrenaline Boost, Dynamite, and Goon Squad. So an interesting selection for sure. Herbert already hitting himself with an Adrenaline Boost on Carbon. That's interesting. And a claim auction. This is really, really good. I don't know if we can push for it much. We already have $44,000 of debt from when we found it. Because we really wanted this spot down here. I thought it would work out rather well for the most part. Still worried about silicon, but other than that, we're hopefully okay. I probably need to go ahead and let this go fairly soon. Okay, good. Somebody else bid on it. I didn't really want it for 36, but I did not want to let Bradbury have it. But we'll just see how things go from here. Steel production still going reasonably well. We could hold on to our steel. Nobody else is really making steel at this point, so it's only going to get a bit more valuable as time goes on. So maybe we just hold on to it for now. We're even going to grab an adrenaline boost just to have it. Whoa, that was a noise I was not ready for. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, this guy still hasn't thrown down steel yet. So I guess we're just waiting. The other option is to go ahead and grab up the glass we need. We could even grab a significant amount of it, actually. We could grab that much glass, very easily move into farms at some point. Now we're just kind of waiting. Just kind of waiting. We need more aluminum. We might should have thrown down 2 aluminum, but I really wanted this water pump, and I really wanted, like, I really like the tiles that I got. I just got hit with an overload. Well, whatever, I guess. I mean, it's more debt my way. But it's not the absolute end of the world. So if I'm waiting on aluminum and not steel, I guess one thing I can do is go ahead and throw down this geotherm. This guy still hasn't put down steel yet. Maybe that'll be okay. Herbert's got himself in a great position, having plenty of aluminum, but aluminum is coming down fairly rapidly, so hopefully that'll be alright for us long term. And now we're just waiting once again on all that steel and all the aluminum to come on in. Still a long process, but won't take forever. The question is, do we grab a goon squad for this? I'm kind of thinking no. There's no mutinies available. It's unlikely to get dynamited. I'm tempted to grab the goon anyway, but maybe not use it, if that makes sense. Save it for later. Fake the goon, basically. Don't plant it, and then wait and see what happens. So aluminum came down rapidly. I imagine Herbert's selling off an awful lot of it, trying to make money, get glass secured, that sort of thing. So we're still in an okay spot, I think. We should be fairly quickly HQ level 3, ahead of most of the players of the game. There we go. Yeah, ahead of everybody, apparently. Which works just fine, and now we've got our very, very easy food transition to go ahead and make. If we would like to, which I think we would. Maybe just get down a trio of them, and then we can also toss a claim at this power tile, I think. We'll just get down a farm, delete this water pump, get down another farm. There we go. 3 farms. Plenty of steel coming in. No glass yet, but that's kind of okay for the moment. Okay, another claim auction. Our debt is still a concern right now, especially because we got hit with that silly little network virus. But we can bid up. We can bid up a fair ways on this. If we get it, that's as high as we go, first of all. That's as high as we go. If we get it, we'll probably claim a silicon tile. Okay, Clark wants it for 36,000. Understandable. Clark also does have steel down and glass down at this point, things to pay attention to. He also secured a lot of silicon very early, which is interesting. As long as we can avoid glass, it's not really an issue for us. But it's something we'll need to pay attention to. We'll go ahead and drop the goon here, and we'll probably even adrenaline boost these. Alright, we got hit by a power surge. Thankfully, it only hit one of the tiles, and we did have that goon squad protecting. So we're still kind of okay. Let's see. We could grab another adrenaline boost to help out. Got a little bit of food, not a big deal. Alright, and now we're just pushing toward that 60 glass we're going to need to upgrade. Could move out of steel at some point. I'm not really too concerned about it, though. This food should very easily be able to carry us a fair ways to HQ level 4. And then we'll be able to get down an engineering lab and maybe some reactors at that point as well. Chem lab's already down over here for Herbert. That's an interesting choice. It could work out. I'm actually kind of okay with him doing that because it'll lower the price on chems and make it easier for us to get all that done. I don't know if buying this glass was actually a good idea, considering this guy is in a significant amount of glass production to make his money. I guess we'll find out. Let's go ahead and upgrade. Can't quite get that lab down yet, but hopefully that's alright. Where are these going? Water pumps there and there? Okay. Let's see. Reactors can go... We don't have a perfect spot for them. We have spots that can kind of work. So we'll just go with what we do have. Steel's still doing very well, which is very nice to see. Let's grab another goon squad just to have it. Let's see. Don't really want to adrenaline boost that tile in particular. What we can do is do one of these, maybe even toss down another goon squad on like this tile, and then adrenaline boost this area when we need to. Now we're just looking to get this lab down and start on the upgrades. We can sell down steel, we can sell down all kinds of good things, and we can start looking at buying up Clark before long. He's gotten a very poor stock price at this point, is what he's managed to accomplish for himself. So we'll see what we can do with that. Don't know exactly how much money everybody's sitting on. Got hit by another network virus. We're getting very aggressively attacked here. Thankfully, it's not really working out too well for the people attacking us. So we will go ahead and toss another adrenaline boost down. Not the best timing. Okay, it is actually pirates this time, which is nice to see. I always hear the pirate auction come up, and then I'm like, but it's not pirates. Also, yes, we haven't thrown down power yet, but that's okay. That's okay that we haven't thrown down more power yet, because power is fairly cheap and steel is not. Alright, pirates for 7,000. We got those cheap. I will take it. Somebody tried to attack us. Did not work out. Caught ourselves a nice little EMP. Who do we want to hit? We kind of want to hit... Bradbury, actually. Herbert is also nice to hit, but Bradbury I think is the better one. Also, nobody in food yet, so the other option is to just wait. See if somebody tries to move into food. And go from there. Okay, another nice jump in steel price there. Exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. Clark is managing to clean up his debt to some degree, and we're really not yet because we don't really care yet. You know what I mean? We'll just start buying up a little bit of stock while prices are kind of expensive. Buy up our own stock, buy up some Clark stock, buy up some of our own stock. Maybe pay down a little debt to make sure we're not in a really terrible position. Water has gone nuts. All right, well, there's an easy solution to that. Just go ahead and drop pirates.
I hate those filthy bandits.
Let's see. Trying to keep my debt at like this B rating would be nice, I think. Steel's coming down. Glass is coming down. It's starting to get to the point where we look for upgrades just a little bit at this point. Alright, the boost is still working just fine. Nobody really going into food yet, which makes sense. Food's kind of difficult to make right now. We did get hit by a little power surge, which hit, I guess, 3 of our tiles and then slammed into our farm. Unfortunate, but not much to do about it, unfortunately. And let's go ahead and hit this upgrade. Things weren't too terribly expensive, and it gives us the opportunity to throw down maybe a couple of water pumps over here. Make that kind of thing work. Another network virus attacking us while we're frozen, and I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. I wonder if you can freeze yourself. That's something I've asked Soren about before, and I've totally forgotten what the actual answer was. Alright. Yeah, Clark, you really wanna? No, he doesn't really wanna, is what it comes down to. He kind of thought about it, and then he was like, never mind, I don't really wanna. I was just fooling around. Unfortunately, I threw down too much water. I should have thrown down just one. Now it's going to be difficult for me to get that double engineering lab production out without buying someone, which is something I would have liked to do, but I suppose we'll pass on this game just in favor of having more real resource production down. Let's see. This is losing me a massive amount of money, but I can't turn it off because it's overloaded, and that just makes sense, obviously. Who would want to turn things off? I don't know, whatever. Could throw down more power, still not going to do it. Power's still super cheap. Not too concerned about it. We'll bid a little bit. This claim would actually be worth a lot. We'll bid a lot for this, I think. Okay, 28,000. We could take that for 28,000. We might be able to push for 36, but we have to worry about debt all of a sudden when we're doing this. It's definitely going to be a concern if we get this for 36,000. But it lets us get down an extra engineering lab slash research center slash whatever you want to call it. So I think it's probably still worthwhile. Now we'll just try and pay down enough debt that we're not in a horrible position. So we are unfortunately basically having to pay straight cash for that, but it's an extra claim, and we kind of needed an extra claim pretty badly. We'll throw it down there, just well away from this one. Okay, we're still managing to maintain a C stock rating, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, a C is pretty decent. Really would love another adrenaline boost before long. Would be pretty fantastic. And we'll get there at some point. We're just kind of waiting for the resources. We've got a lot of food research going on. We've got a lot of good things headed our way. We just have to wait for them. But overall, we're still in a pretty good spot. That's excellent, because that is not our farms, which is fantastic production. Obviously, it's a very big EMP, but we're still scientific. It's not the end of the world. All right, how much cash is Herbert sitting on? 90,000. That is a concern, because it means Herbert is starting to get closer than we would really like to that buy. I don't really know how much it costs. 142,000. So what we do is we make Herbert spend that money the best that we can. We're invested very long term. Very long term. So we want him to be spending his money. We don't want him to be able to... Exactly. So we've got him defending himself. He's not sitting on near as much cash anymore. That's exactly where we want to be. Going to need to scrap out of these chem labs before long, unfortunately. Not really sure what to do with them exactly. Let's see, one research going is fine for now because the other one's turned off. Could get down a little more power at this point. Probably not a bad idea. Unfortunately, our steel production is still a bit shut down, but that happens. It's not the end of the world. That is goon squatted, so we will hit that tile instead. Make sure we wipe out a significant amount of whatever's going on there. Go ahead and power surge. Nope, not going to power surge those. Going to get hit by a power surge. And now we can really start looking at getting aggressive on people, but we do need to pay down some debt first, unfortunately. Lucky for us, the food production is very strong. We're still scientific. It will stay strong despite water doing whatever water does. Chems still barely riding that line of kind of usable. Oh man, we are going to crash food hard in just a moment here. We could even adrenaline boost again. I think we're going to. There we go. Pay down some more debt. Yeah, thinking machines would be kind of cool. See if we can get that bought up. Herbert's still sitting on, yeah, not too much cash. Clark actually sitting on the most, interestingly enough. Something to be concerned about. Alright, the EMP is still doing some work for us. It's not great, but it's doing something. I really don't want to push too hard for thinking machines. I would love it in a lot of ways, but I'm already scientific and my debt's already kind of high, so maybe we avoid it for now. Do I want to transition these? I mean, there's an obvious thing to go into in glass, right? I could just also go into more steel. Both of those would be okay. That's still actually making money because it's boosted. I guess that works. Let's see. Researching some steel. We can research some water as well. I think that's all right. Our debt's still a bit high. I mean, we've got that 20% interest rate going. But I think it did just tick interest, so maybe I don't worry about that for the time being. And I just push for this 120 or so thousand that I want to get a buy done, and then hopefully I'll be okay afterwards. With steel rolling in, it should be alright. We can also transition into a bit of water if we really, really need to. We're going to just try and make these pushes the best we can. Clark can't pay down any more debt easily. He's having to rely entirely on what he's making to pay down debt. So hopefully we can get one of these two buys done without trying too hard for it. As you can see, their stock prices are going up very rapidly as they pay down debt. But we're still close to buying them out, so we can probably still get something done here. We will also transition into a little bit more water production just to kind of go along with everything. And keep a good close eye on all this. 209 is all we need to finish off Herbert because we have more of his stock secured. So we're still in an okay spot. Bradbury's saying he's played terribly. Alright, well, if he says so. Not really my concern at the end of the day. Alright, the reactors are still going strong. The steel is still strong. We're so close. We just can't quite finish it yet, you know? That's just the situation we're in. Can't quite finish it yet. Alright, let's get another research going just to make sure those are still constantly rolling in. Oh man, Clark making himself a very valuable buy by getting that Offworld down. He's got so much great stuff for himself. We're so close to finishing him off. Give it to me already. Come on. Oh, come on. This is just gross is what this is. This is just gross. I was there. I was actually there. What happens if I do this? Still not quite. Like it said I had the requisite amount of cash and then it just didn't give it to me. Fine, I'll buy Herbert instead. That still gives me a lot of Clark bought up, so it's alright. At least hopefully it's alright. I'm still not in a bad spot here. I just need to really be looking at things like the Offworld, which I'd been avoiding this whole time. But that's alright. That's alright. I just need to work on getting an Offworld down, and I need to make sure I'm consistently attacking his. I thought I could get to the buy, but he just paid off too much debt, is what it came down to. Now I'm going to need to do something serious to kill him off here. Alright. Let's get to fuel production researches done. We do have an upgrade available still. It's very expensive, but it is available if we want it. We also have decent... I mean, we have a little bit of silicon coming in, which is good. It's not great silicon, but it's acceptable. And we can move back into farms over here very easily. Just farm. Don't know if we transition out of all of our water. Might not be a bad idea, though. Just to get down some more reactors, that sort of thing. Could work okay. Still about halfway to that Clark buy as things stand right now. The glass not making a lot of money. The chems, I'm not sure how well those are doing at all. Let's repair that one. And getting an Offworld down is probably the right call. Maybe scrap some of our power because we have more than enough power as is without any of this power. Right here, like it's nighttime and we were still running. It was nighttime and we were still running a power surplus, so I think we're okay. Keep attacking this guy. It's going to get defended. He can't blow up ours yet, though. So hopefully we're okay. Let's see. We could upgrade steel. We could upgrade fuel. Food is already significantly upgraded. The glass is probably quite poor at this point. We could just upgrade chems to make sure we can... Yeah, glass is doing badly. Chems will be better. Other options are to throw down some electronics, potentially. Those could be alright. They still consume silicon, though, which is kind of one of my concerns about them. We could just throw down more reactors. I don't really know if I want to do reactors, though. More farms might be better. It's kind of it's kind of a tough call. Let's just head this way. We're at 130. We need 194 as things stand right now. Not the end of the world. We are pushing there fairly effectively. There's the buy on Clark. And that's going to lock up the game for us quite nicely. Bradbury at a D stock price. He's not going to be able to hold on very long. He's actually just going to concede. Omar Little is. And that'll be the game over to us. I'll take it. We got a great spot. Honestly, we got a great spot. Like, the obvious rare resource on that map was silicon, right? We could see PB actually, I think, worked to secure a fair amount of silicon for himself. From what I remember, this tile I think was PB's, and then maybe another one of these silicon tiles was his. I wish I could go back and see, like, original owner. I wish that was listed somewhere. But we can even maybe look and see, let's go to buildings. Let's actually make use of this tab for once. I'm going to go to PB head here. Elemental Quarry 2. That's all it tells me is Elemental Quarry. I wish it was a bit more helpful than that, but I doubt that was carbon. Whereas these guys, they obviously built more elemental quarries, but that's not as helpful as I wish it was. Let's see, we built 28 buildings. I don't know. It was honestly a fairly simple, straightforward game, guys. I mean, if we just take a look, we can see most of my money came from food because nobody else built farms for forever. And then when they finally did build farms, they had driven the price of water high by building reactors. And so none of them could stick in farms very long. It was all just very awkward, all told, and we easily made far more money than everybody else. Excuse me, and we were able to play out the game fairly easily and fairly simply. It was interesting seeing PB Head avoid steel for so long. It was very interesting to see that. I don't really know why that happened, but it made the game a lot more simple for us when we realized for a long time we could avoid steel. And avoid selling steel unless we had a very specific purpose for it. So the price, I mean, I don't know, the steel price was always very beneficial to us for the most part. PB Head did also successfully sell quite a lot of steel, and we actually used far more of it than he did, which is as expected. He is expansive. A lot of his steel costs are reduced. That's one of the qualities Expansive has. It's very nice. But overall, things still just going our way very easily. It was these farms, though. It was these farms getting adrenaline boosted. The adrenaline boost is such a nice tool to have and be able to use. We also did not get unlucky with the black market hits. It was never a situation where, well, it took out literally everything it could and then it hit the goon squad, right? It hit a few things and then it hit a goon squad is usually what happened. So, it worked out well. I was pleased with it. All right. Well, that's going to wrap that one up. Not too much more to look at. There were dry ice condensers on this map, so that was interesting. They were worthwhile to build, I think. All these electronics buildings, though, I don't really know. Let's actually look at tech before we completely get out of here. I was on 10. PB was on 5. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, my 4 food production tech went completely unmatched anywhere. Completely. Even electronics being researched, you have to be very careful about this because you always have to remember electronics produce at half rate automatically. So once you've got this electronics production up to level 3 tech, you are now producing as much electronics off that building as you would be producing any other resource off of its respective building, out of like food or fuel, fuel, chems, and glass, and steel, right? All of those. Oxygen is the only exception here. Oxygen produces at the same rate as electronics. Anyways, let's hop into another one. Let's see. I'll make one more 4-man at least today. See who